And of course, as always, we want everybody to know that whatever is discussed on the show is the opinion of our guests and don't necessarily reflect our official policy. Although I do have to say, if we say something, maybe it does reflect something for me and or myself. And so don't. Somebody says something bad or politically incorrect, don't hold us to them in perpetuity. Or if we say something politically incorrect, it's not our fault. To just post a question, and we've got some questions we've written down. But today is an open show and open forum, and we'll just run with it. And of course, thank you for joining us. And today we're going to try and sell you whatever we can sell you. What the heck?
And it's funny, I think, Ian, you brought this up, is that the manufacturer, when they get involved in some things that they don't understand, John, how much has your process changed in your sales process in the time you've been in business? Like, it's evolving all the time, right? You hear something new and you're like, oh, I like that. I can thread that in. We'd get Honda's trainer to come in and I'm like, this is 1985. Like, they don't have a clue. Like, they're still talking about this road to the sale and all kinds of things. And they're not about transaction ready customers, and they don't believe anyone coming in is ready to do that. And then they send the customer a survey that says, did they do a 12-point walk around? No, because the guy had his credit card out, wanted a blue one.
Yeah, exactly.
Sold him a blue one.
And the fact is the customer knew everything about the car and the salesman didn't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I participated in the Honda walk around contest when I sold Hondas. And I got to I think the finals or the regional final or something, right? So we had like 3 guys, I guess, from all over British Columbia or Western Canada or something. So they had these idiots from Honda Canada, nothing wrong with Honda by any stretch. But they said, okay, well, here's the customer profile. I said, okay, so what you're telling me is I'm going to sell this walk around to an imaginary customer in a contest about excellence in walk arounds. They said, yeah. I said, can't one of you guys from the Brain Trust play the customer? Oh, we don't do that. I'm like, what do you mean you don't do that? Like, right? what kind of process is this? Like, it was ridiculous. It was so absolutely silly.
Which goes to show that the dealers aren't on the same page as the manufacturers, who aren't on the same page as the customers, who aren't on the same page as the suppliers. And my favorite punching bag, and I'm just joking because he's done way better than me, is because of this, Grant Cardone gets a new plane every 2 years.
Yeah.
The giant 10X, except of course John's soapbox racer with the 1X on it.
Yeah, no, it is. There is such a space there, and especially get into the U.S., some of those big groups and some of that kind of stuff. That the fight that goes on between the OEM, the dealer, and the customer, it is not a seamless field in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's just atrocious, and everybody's sneaking around the other guy's back trying to find information that they shouldn't have, or hopefully not let them know that we're doing it this way, and all the stuff that's going on. And they got aftermarket parts selling as OEM parts out the front door, all the stuff, and it's just like, it's a big fight at the end of the day. And I think at the end of the day, that's probably where some of this starts to circle around to, is when you walk into an Apple store, you're getting treated properly, you're paying a fair price, and you're buying a good product, and you're good doing it. You're good.
And it's funny, even at the manufacturer level, the reps, so a dealer's sitting there and they're missing target, quota, whatever acronym that they use, and the rep says, well, look, just RDR a couple of those RDR a couple of those Elantras and just get it through, and don't worry about it, and put the money against it. And listen, on the CSI, just send some out to your brother or cousin. Just get them up. So everybody's, it's all about who can we fool. And in the end, everybody gets hurt. The customer, we've always said, I've said my whole career, which has been a lot longer than I want to admit to, the customer doesn't remember what they paid for the car a month or 2 months after they bought the car, even though they spent 6 weeks shopping dealers, be it on, well, back then it wasn't online. But boy, oh boy, they sure tell everybody what a jerk somebody was because somebody looked at them the wrong way.
Well, half of them don't remember, Jeff, because half of them don't know.
And there's only oh, by the way, the only thing they don't remember more the price of the car is the salesperson.
Yeah.
Big bald guy. Yeah, bald guy. Nice, kind of boisterous guy. Don't know his name.
You know, it's one of the processes we put in at one of our stores too, was when we stopped leaving that to the salesperson, and at the end of a delivery, the service department called the customer and said, you know what, we're just going to take over from here, because this whole transaction of handing a customer back to service is a broken thing. And yeah, I introduced them and all this kind of stuff. It's like whatever. But the sales or the service department would just call and say, how was your drive home? Like, did you enjoy your first couple hours in your vehicle? Let's get you set up. Let's make sure we got your right emails, your phone numbers, all this stuff. Because the sales department did a terrible job, and they got the wife's email and they got the husband's work phone number, and it's under the company name, and it's all over the place. And the database is terrible.
We go back to the early, because they don't get commission, so they don't care.
Right. Yeah,
right, because we built that in, and it's like, but yet the manager's like, you have to do this, but 2 minutes ago you said I only get money if I sell stuff, so why would? Because they don't bigger picture, like, well, that guy might tell his cousin they had a great experience and you were great, and now the service, like, it's just again, it goes back to that weird thing.
And they can't figure out why they only get a 30% uptake on the free first oil change.
By the way, I just wanted to mention, I hate going to the Apple store. Like, I know we all say like Apple's great. It is like terrible. Yeah, but and yet it's like the model everybody wants to be. And I'm like, when you go in there, it's like going into a zoo. You can't find the blue kid with the shirt. Like and I walk right up there and I'm like, where's the $1,500 phone that I have to wait? You take them
2 months to buy it. Yeah.
Like, that's what's crazy too about the car. Like, as the car industry, we're like, wow, they're the benchmark. Like, it isn't a great experience like all the time. You know what I mean?
It's
like
way better than ours.
Oh, it's an interesting point though.
Right. Like, you're making me, I'm paying you $1,000 for this thing that you're going to make me buy another one in 6 months. But I'm okay, great. Sure. Right. They figured out whatever that is. It is genius, because it isn't really, when you sit back and look at it, it's really not that great of an experience. But we've bought into that somehow.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And the
That's a very good point.
The benchmark is that it's the same experience, whatever you call it, at the one at this mall, that store. It's very similar. I think
that's probably it more than anything else. Is
yeah.
You know what? Somebody, John, you were on the Fixed Op Mastermind call. I knew I recognized you, and I thought maybe you might. Somebody posted on LinkedIn recently, and it was McDonald's. It was 3 brands, and it basically said the same thing. Like, oh, it's McDonald's, Starbucks, and somebody else. And it said, not the best hamburger, but people line up in my little town because the drive-thru's open, right?
Yeah.
Starbucks isn't the best coffee, but to your point, Jeff, I know when I go in, I'm going to get the same Americano ristretto shots at this one.
They're $9.
And I'm going to pay, and I pay $5, right?
Yeah.
And I could go to my coffee machine.
But the good point is, though, Stephen, the good point is, after 37 of those $9 coffees, you get one free.